You just accepted an offer on your Tom's River home. Now what? Most sellers have no idea what happens next, and that's exactly where deals fall apart. In this video, I'm going to walk you through every step of the process from accepted offer to closing day, so you know exactly what to expect, what can go wrong, and how to protect yourself. The first thing that happens after you accept an offer in New Jersey is attorney review. And this is something that confuses a lot of sellers, especially if they've bought or sold in another state. In New Jersey, both the buyer and the seller have the right to have their attorney review the contract after it's signed. This period typically lasts 3 business days, but it can be extended by mutual agreement. During attorney review, either party's attorney can modify the contract, add riders, or cancel the deal entirely without penalty. Now, here's what sellers need to understand. Attorney review is not a formality. It's a real window where the deal can change. I've seen buyers use attorney review to renegotiate terms, add inspection contingencies, or request concessions that weren't in the original offer. Your attorney is your protection during this period. And yes, in New Jersey, you want a real estate attorney on your side, not just your agent. Once attorney review is officially concluded, meaning both attorneys have signed off, the contract becomes binding. That's the moment the clock really starts ticking towards closing. So, step 1, get your attorney lined up before you even list. Don't wait until you have an offer in hand to find someone. Once attorney review is closed, the buyer will typically schedule a home inspection. This is the part most sellers dread, and honestly, it's the part where deals most commonly fall apart. Here's what you need to know. The inspector works for the buyer. Their job is to find every issue with your home, and they will. No home passes a home inspection perfectly. There will be a report, and that report will have items on it. Your job is not to panic. What matters is what's in the report and how the buyer responds. After the inspection, the buyer has a few options. They can accept the home as is, they can request repairs, they can ask for a credit at closing in lieu of repairs, or in some cases, if the inspection reveals something significant, they may try to renegotiate the price. This is where having an experienced agent matters. I've seen buyers come back with a laundry list of demands after an inspection. Some reasonable, some not. Knowing what's standard versus what's a negotiating tactic makes a significant difference in how much money stays in your pocket at closing. My advice, if you did your pre-listing prep, if you addressed the big 4 I covered in last week's video, you're going into this inspection in a much stronger position. The fewer surprises in that report, the less leverage the buyer has. Before we get into the appraisal, I want to talk about something most sellers don't think about until it happens to them. The deal falling apart after attorney review closes. A signed contract feels like a finish line. It's not. It's the starting line. And between that signed contract and closing day, there are several things that can unravel a deal. The most common one, the buyer's financing falls through. Their lender pulls their pre-approval, their debt-to-income ratio changes, they lose their job. It happens. And when it does, you're back on the market. Second, the inspection. If the buyer finds something significant they weren't expecting and your positions are too far apart on how to handle it, they can walk. This is why preparation matters. Third, the appraisal comes in low and neither side is willing to bridge the gap. Fourth, a title issue surfaces that can't be resolved in time. None of these are reasons to panic. They're reasons to be prepared. Work with people who have seen these situations before and know how to navigate them. Because the difference between a deal that falls apart and one that closes is usually how quickly and calmly problems get solved. Here's something nobody tells sellers. Once you're under contract, you still have responsibilities. Keep all utilities on until closing. The buyer needs to be able to do a home inspection and a final walkthrough with electricity, water, and heat or AC running. Shutting things off early causes problems. Don't make any major changes to the property. If something breaks, notify your agent immediately. Don't try to fix it yourself or hide it. Disclosure issues at closing are serious. Respond quickly when your agent, attorney, or the title company needs something from you. Delays on the seller side push closing dates back and can cost you money if the buyer has rate locks or moving schedules. And start your move plan early. Nothing creates more closing day chaos than a seller who isn't ready to be out of the house. Know your timelines, work backwards from closing. and give yourself more time than you think you need. Being a good seller during the closing period is just as important as everything you did to get the offer. While the inspection is happening, the buyer's lender is working on their end. If the buyer is financing, meaning they're not paying cash, the lender will order an appraisal of your home. Here's why this matters to you as the seller. The appraisal determines what the lender will actually loan against your property. If your home appraises at or above the purchase price, you're in great shape. The deal moves forward. But if it appraises below the purchase price, you have a problem. In a low appraisal situation, a few things can happen. The buyer can make up the difference in cash out of their pocket. You can agree to lower the price to meet the appraisal value, or you can negotiate somewhere in the middle. If neither side budges, the deal can fall apart entirely. This is another reason why accurate pricing matters from day one, and another reason why comparable sales in your specific neighborhood are so important when setting your list price. After the appraisal clears and the lender is satisfied with the buyer's financials, they'll issue what's called a clear to close. That's the green light. It means the lender is ready to fund the loan and you're on the home stretch to closing day. Cash buyers move faster. There's no lender, no appraisal, just attorney review, inspection, and title work. That's why cash offers are so attractive, even when the number is slightly lower. While all this is going on, inspection, appraisal, mortgage approval, the title company is doing a title search on your property. They're going through public records to make sure you actually have clear ownership of the house and that there are no liens, judgments, or unresolved issues that would prevent the sale. This is something sellers get surprised by. Old liens from contractors, unpaid HOA balances, even estate issues from a prior owner. These things can surface during a title search and need to be resolved before closing. If you have any outstanding judgments or liens in the property, it's better to know about them now than at the closing table. Now, let's talk about closing day. In New Jersey, closing typically happens at a title company or attorney's office. As the seller, you won't necessarily be in the same room as the buyer. In many cases, sellers and buyers close separately. On closing day, the buyer signs their mortgage documents, funds are transferred, and you hand over the keys. You'll receive your net proceeds, the sale price minus your mortgage payoff, closing costs, commissions, and any credits agreed upon during negotiation. One thing to keep in mind, if you're moving out, make sure the home is in the agreed upon condition before closing. Buyers have the right to do a final walkthrough, usually within 24 hours of closing. If something has changed, if something was damaged during the move, or an agreed repair wasn't completed, that walkthrough gives the buyer the opportunity to raise it before they sign. Close clean, close prepared, and closing day is straightforward. If you're thinking about selling your home in Toms River, Brick, or anywhere in the area, and you want someone who knows this process inside and out, reach out to me directly. I offer free home valuations, and I'll walk you through every step before you ever hit the market. The link is below. If this helped you, hit subscribe and tap the bell. I cover Toms River and Point Pleasant real estate every week for homeowners just like you.